Whether we are just starting out or are in the middle of our careers, all of us have a desire to accelerate our growth. In this video, we'll talk about the top 4 things that you can do to grow faster in your career. Based on my 16 years of experience working for small and large companies and leading large teams, the first thing that you can do is to pick the right pond. Very often, we tend to pick jobs based just on growth potential and pay. However, even if a job has great potential to provide you with these things, it won't work for you if it doesn't match your personality and skills. The most important thing in picking a job and even the right career is to play to your strengths. Identify your strengths and pick an organization and job that can maximize your strengths. For some of us, this could mean working for large organizations, while for others, it could mean working for small companies or startups. Basically, if we have the needs of the organization on one side and your strengths on the other, you should pick a job where the needs of the organization overlaps with your strengths. You have to pick the right pond. Your career growth will be directly proportional to how much the organization suits your strengths and is a good match for you. The more you pick the right pond, the faster you will grow. The second one that you should do is create leverage and use it. Leverage is similar to credits in your bank account. The larger the amounts you deposit and the consistency with which you do it, the larger the credit you will have and the more you can make use of it. To build leverage in your career, you should add value upwards to your leadership by making contributions to them and the company. You should also add value downwards to your juniors and to the team reporting to you by helping them grow in their careers. When you do this consistently for sustained periods of time, you build leverage both upwards and downwards. Once you have created leverage, you can use it to accelerate your growth. In fact, most times you don't even need to use it. It will automatically happen. For example, if you have built downward leverage and need to hire for a key role in your team, great people will be queuing up for the role. And if you have built upward leverage and there's a great role, you will be the first one to be offered the role by leadership. This is not just within one organization, but works across organizations as well. I've realized from my career and the people I've seen grow quickly that the single most important thing that determines how fast you will grow is having someone in the senior leadership team vouch for you and believe in you. And that only happens if you create leverage. Your career growth is directly proportional to the amount of leverage that you can build. The more leverage you build, the faster you will grow. Your growth will actually take off exponentially when you reach a certain point of leverage. Before we look at point number 3, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button if you want more tips on career development and achieving financial freedom. The third thing you can do is to avoid the imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when you start doubting yourself, when you start doubting whether you deserve the kind of success that you have gotten, when you start to doubt whether you're good enough. Sure, you should understand your weaknesses and work on where you can improve, but you should never doubt yourself and your strengths. When in doubt, look at your strengths. Look at what you bring to the table. Look at the data around your contributions. Focus on the facts rather than your feelings of being inadequate. Ask your leadership and the people on your team for feedback on your strengths, which will give you reassurance and give you confidence. Always know what you deserve, even in terms of pay and compensation and growth, and ask for it. Generally, if you add great value, you will get what you deserve. But there is no harm in asking what you know you deserve, or in going to a place or organization that will give you that. Remember, it's always a two-way street, and that if you don't believe in yourself, you will never be able to grow faster. The fourth thing that you can do to accelerate your career growth is to find happiness at work. This is a very underrated point, but you need to be happy at work to find sustained growth in your career. Productivity and growth will never lead to happiness. It's always the other way around. Being happy at your work will lead to productivity and growth. Picking the right pond and job also applies here. Basically, you need to pick a job where the culture and vibe of the organization overlaps a lot with your culture and your style. If we look at the graph of career growth and happiness, the happier you are at work, the faster you will grow. And if you want to understand the 2 hidden reasons why you're not getting promoted in your career, watch this video.